discipline as it relates to, individual success is paramount. I mean, you can't be a CEO of a company unless you've got, intense discipline. And I know that my responsibility every day, I've got to wake up thinking about how I'm going to make this business better every day. And I got to go to bed thinking about how I'm going to make this business better every day. And so that focus and that discipline to stay focused on one thing, and it doesn't matter what it is. You can look at anybody who's accomplished, regardless of the goal. They don't let anything get in their way. They don't let anything get in your way. The American dream to me is just being able to say, you know what, I can do this. If I really, really put my mind to it, if I really work hard, I can make this happen. And I think that's the beauty of where we live. I mean, we're not perfect as a country, but I'm going to tell you this, there's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Stevens water level recorders have been manufactured by Leupold and Stevens since 1911. Elmer Larson, hydrographic department foreman seen here, has helped build them all since 1917. They're a remarkable instrument devised to record on paper the level of a liquid and its fluctuations. A float is suspended from a pulley by a beaded line or perforated tape, beaded or punched so that it will not slip. The pulley is connected to a marking pen through a set of gears and a circlet of linked chain. As the float moves up and down, the marking pen is moved back and forth in direct proportion. The graphed paper under the stylus point is moved at the same time by a clock motor set at a constant speed, thus providing a permanent record of the rise and fall of the liquid below, the amount, and the exact time it took place. This is the Stevens recorder in its simplest terms.
So a brief history of Leupold and Stevens is 5th generation family ownership. So we're 116 years old, founded by Fred Leupold, who was an immigrant from Germany, came here, settled in Portland, started an engineering company, and he ended up with a partner named J.C. Stevens, so that's where you get Leupold and Stevens, who was a brilliant inventor. And they had a successful company. And then, years down the line, Marcus Leupold, who's Fred Leupold's son, was working at the company, and he was out hunting here in Oregon, blacktail, and his rifle scope fogged up, which is really easy to do in Oregon weather, as you can imagine, and he said, I can do it better, and that started the whole idea of us really, evolving to being a rifle scope manufacturing company. And so he did the typical thing you see great entrepreneurs do. He worked mornings and nights and figured out how to make this scope better than anyone else. And that was really the beginning of what we do today.
Well, this is a pretty cool little cutout here of a photocopy, but it's the oldest Leupold ad that we can find from 1947, highlighting our Plainsman rifle scope. The crosshair was made from black widow spiderweb silk, so it was laid into the reticle holder, and you can imagine the sub-assembly process with putting the different parts together, but in one corner of the assembly area there was a guy with a terrarium that would just simply be, have a wrangle of different black widow spiders and extract the silk, and then they would lay that into the reticle holder, and that would hold up to recoil because that tensile strength of the black widow spiderweb silk is really strong. And we've come a long way in technology since having just a simple fixed 2.5 power rifle scope back then. When I look through these photos, there's a tremendous sense of pride and being able to look back on what my ancestors and other Leupold and Stevens employees have been able to accomplish over the years, and know that we're building on a legacy that was proven with great craftsmanship, machining capability, and using all the knowledge from all these products that have lasted over the decades to be able to highlight and just have the sense of pride that's there when you know some of these scopes are still out in the field and being used on rifles to this day. It doesn't matter if it's 10 years old or 70 years old, it's a Leupold scope, and it's gonna be lasting on your rifle through whatever punishment that it gets put through.
Generally, when we talk about optics, we're just talking about something that enhances a sight picture, whether it's a binocular or a rifle scope. What am I trying to look at, and how do I make it so that I can see that better? Better, clearer, make it look closer, larger. So in terms of optics, that's what I think of when someone says, what are optics? Yeah, so at a basic level, a rifle scope works. You've got an objective lens up in the front, and then you've got the main tube, which is this part that I'm drawing here. In the middle of that main tube, you have your adjustments, and these are the things that we use to sight in. As you come back, there is a power selector ring here that lets you zoom, from 3 power to 9 power. And then it comes back to kind of an eyepiece back here. And so you've got this extra piece, an eyepiece. And so the image, the light comes in the front, it goes through the scope in here, and then it comes back to, your eyeball back here. Probably the most difficult part of the job is taking a highly complex design and engineering task and making it very simple to use in the field. So how do we take all of these things that we've known, we as a company, over the last 115 plus years, and make it very, very simple? We live this stuff day in, day out, eat, sleep, breathe optics. And for the people that want to get away and have that 1 week in camp, or the 200 days a year for the professional guide, how do you make that as simple and straightforward as possible? That probably is the most difficult part. It's also the most fun.
One thing I'm most proud of is that we make a product, an optic, that allows you to go wherever you want. I know our product's gonna perform in any situation. And yeah, we have a gold ring guarantee and we guarantee our product for life, okay? But you know what? I wanna make sure that you never have to use that guarantee. And so we have to make a rugged, clear optic that when you're on the top of the mountain or you're in Kazakhstan, that no matter where you are, that it's gonna work, right? Because FedEx doesn't show up there. And they just won't. So, okay, this is a different kind of beast than just, oh shoot, my iPhone broke, I can get a new one. That's a different thing, because when you're up there and you're in the middle of nowhere, it has to work. It has to perform. And I think that's something that we deliver, and I'm really, really proud of that.
Growing up, I didn't really grow up in an outdoor family, and so I didn't have that experience, but I've always been drawn to the outdoors and nature, and it's just a place to go to recharge and to get away from all the craziness of life. So connected now as a society, which is good in some aspects, right? But in others, it just seems like it's a never-ending cycle of notifications and messages and things to check and things dinging at you and bright lights. So kind of get back to the roots, and it lets you think and not have things think for you. My job here at Leupold is to use the products in the field. It's to engage with the consumer, use the products alongside the consumer to put products through the ringer. Long-range shooting is a combination of science and art. The marriage of those two things together is really intriguing to me and really draws me to the long-range stuff. So the first thing I'm really going to do is get the Kestrel booted up and make sure I'm on the right gun. I have different gun profiles in the Kestrel, but take a reading for the environment. So I put it to live, and then I'm going to spin it around so it can get all the different temperature and barometric pressure, density, altitude, all the things that play into your ballistics. So once it kind of gets an update of the environment, I'm going to lock it back in, and now I'm going to take a wind reading. So I'm going to go into the wind, and I'm going to capture my wind. So I feel like my wind's coming from this way. So I'm going to point that up there. Just take a couple seconds to get a reading. End my capture. So it's blowing about 2 miles per hour right now, but I have wind 1 and wind 2. I'm going to knock wind 2 up to 5, so I have a bracket anywhere from 2 to 5 miles per hour. And now we're good to go on our Kestrel settings. Now we just got to figure out how far we're going to shoot. What I'm doing out here right now is testing the product in the field where it is going to be used. We have all kinds of testing apparatus back at the facility, but nothing replicates having it out here in the wilderness and shooting where our consumers are going to go shoot and go use the product. So really important that I come out here, I use the product, and I deliver feedback back to the team about what's working, what's not working, what we can improve on, those kinds of things. I think it's just being genuine about the product and the lifestyle, right? Living the lifestyle. It's very apparent, I think, when you go up and you talk to the Leupold people, be it me, could be people on the hunting side, whatever it is, they're one of you, they're a consumer. They're buying all the same other stuff that you're doing. They're out there scouting all the time, or they're shooting matches, or they're going on hunts all the time. We love it, and that's just you can't replicate that passion, and it's non-negotiable. Like, to be on the Leupold team out there, especially sales and marketing, like, you have to be passionate about the lifestyle.
One of the things that makes me most proud to lead this company is we give individuals the opportunity to get outdoors. A lot more folks that are spending time indoors and maybe on an iPhone screen or something like that. This is I think it's a legit issue that we have less people getting outside. I think if you look at mental health, people who get outside, I think you can prove, are gonna have a clearer, more focused, better outlook on life. I think there's data to prove that. If we can help in any way to get people outside, get them to enjoy the outdoors and get them to go achieve some goals that maybe they thought they couldn't, then I think we're helping in a small way to solve that.
I left the island when I was 9. My father figured it was a good idea to come to the United States for a better life and education. So my father left in the early 70s to the United States by himself, worked, and send money for the 3 oldest to come and help him work and save money to send for my mother and myself. There's a total of 8 of us. I'm very proud of my dad for bringing us here to the United States so we can have a better life. Working at Leupold brought me a different respect of how to help people. That's something that I learned, is that a lot of people, I had people helping me when I first came to the United States. So I try to give that when I work at Leupold. We have people that comes that English is a second language. I understand what it feels like not to fully speak the language. And I'm very passionate. That is my goal, to help people to be successful. We're in assembly. This is the black line, one of the lines that I run. It's very important that each team member know what they're doing. Understanding the work instruction is a very important thing. So that's one of the things that we work with the individual person, trying to make sure that they understand what their job is in each station. And most of these team members, they all know each station here. They work each station. So we're able to move around like every 2 or 4 hours, move people around so they can get a little break from what they've been doing for the first 2 or 4 hours every day.
We have a good team here. Everybody help each other. We don't just sit and wait.
Like she said, everybody's up and about and they help each other out. And that's why this team is very successful. It was a risk for me when I became a lead. At first I didn't want to become a lead because I know I have a lot of responsibility at home. And I didn't know if I can stay focused when I'm here at work, because I have so much responsibility outside of work. But my boss pushed me. She believed in me. She said, you can do both. When you're at work, you focus at work. When you're at home, you focus at home with your kids and your family. And that's one thing I love about this company is it's family oriented. It's everybody help each other out. I love how this product is made in the United States. I have a great passion for that. I'm very proud of this country, and I'm proud of what I do. And I come in every day, I'm ready, give it all my best with my team. And I have a wonderful team that supports me and stand right behind me and help me make it happen. The American dreams, freedom. I have the freedom to choose what I want to be. I have freedom to do things that I want. And that's why I love this country, because I have the freedom.
To me, coming out of a guide camp, and I was going to be an elementary school teacher, I never would have envisioned being here. And this company has allowed that, because if you work hard and you want to be part of something bigger, you can be. And to me, that is the American dream, being able to build a success for yourself and for your family, and a stability, all in an environment that is loving and caring.
The American dream, it just means that you have the freedom to kind of make your own destiny. I'm first generation born in the US of my family, trying to have a better life and build that American dream. It really makes me proud to be American and embrace that, again, that freedom.
The reason that we make all of our rifle scopes here is I don't know what else to say except it's in our DNA. It's just in the core of this company, of the craftsmen that work here, of what we're about, of this American heritage, the family heritage that we have. It's just, there isn't another option. We have folks here that actually can take the product and go out every single day and either shoot at our range or go out and hunt. I mean, it's just a different thing when you have people who love and care about the product making it. And so I tell our team all the time, it is not about being the biggest, it's about being the best. If we do that, we're gonna do just fine.